Hey, so my name is John, and this is not the kind of content that I usually post on here. I'm primarily a wedding guy, whether it's shooting wedding photography or wedding films. That is most of the content that's on this channel or page, depending on where you're watching. However, back in the day, I used to play guitar all the time, and I still play guitar at the church I attend. Usually no more than like twice a month. It's more often than not once a month, especially during wedding season. I might go like 4 to 6 months without playing, because those two things, they happen on the same day. We have Saturday services. People get married on Saturdays. Sometimes people even get married on Sundays. If you are looking for a very technical, like great playing example, this is not your video. There are people on the internet that have tested these pickups and played this guitar. This is primarily to talk about my experience with actually winning the pickups of the month, or one of the pickups of the month from Lambertones. Obviously, Lambertones sent me these pickups, but just as a part of their like regular monthly or like bi-monthly, I forget, or monthly or bi-weekly, however they do it, giveaway. They did not ask me to write a post or post a video before sending me these. They did ask me to either make a post or make a video just talking about them, or my experience with winning the pickups. So that's what this says. So I was the recipient of the Lambertone Cremas, which is a humbucker pickup set that like every church guitarist ever either has or has heard of. And I put them in this Epiphone Sheraton, which is a guitar that I have had for, oh my gosh, like 15 years. This was the first guitar that my parents bought me. More specifically, that my dad bought me. My dad was, like all of our dads, a big like classic rock guy, and he thought I was crazy for wanting such a big guitar. But our worship leader had something very similar to this at the time, and I really wanted a big hollow body. I thought it looked cool, and needless to say, it was not the trendy thing for very long, and I actually bought a Jazzmaster that I still have today, and is actually probably my favorite guitar ever. So anyway, my dad bought me this guitar, and for those of you wondering why that is significant or important to me, my dad passed away a number of years ago, shortly after I started playing guitar, and because of that, even though this wasn't his guitar, this has always been very sentimental to me. It was my first, what felt like a real guitar. I played it, for years in church. I did not take care of it. So it looks, pretty cool in the back. There's lots of like belt rash, but the front, if you know a Sheraton, there's supposed to be a pick guard here. I also played this in like a, not really like pop punk, but like pop rock band when I was in my teenage years, and I broke the pick guard off like playing too hard. So it has a little bit of personality to it, and it's always been sentimental and special to me, but it has never sounded good enough for me. And when I say never, I mean like once I started like tone chasing and got like my first nice amp and pedals and all that, the pickups that were in here began to feel very dull and just kind of lifeless. For the longest time, this guitar sat in its case in like the corner of my room. It just collected dust, or the case collected dust. I have been on the list I've been signed up for like Lambertone's email list. So I've been, in the running to get a free pickup set for years now. I've purchased a couple of them. I have their Blondies in my, I have a classic vibe Telecaster that has the Blondies in it. I have a really like cheap Gretsch Streamliner guitar that has their Lambertone pickup in it. So I've been a customer of them before this, but I had never loved a guitar that had humbuckers in it. And so as much as I have heard the Cremas on like every, worship album ever, I had never made the jump and bought a set. So to talk a little bit about that experience. So I will show these texts on the screen here. I got a text from, I don't know if this is the number that like they use for like promotional stuff or not, because I always delete those texts. So this was the first text that I have from this number, but I don't think it was like Curtis's, Curtis is the owner. I don't think it was his personal number or anything, mostly because it was a text message and not an iMessage. And come on, let's be honest. The text says, "Hey John, this is Curtis at Lambertones. You won our monthly giveaway. Congratulations. You have 2 hours to respond." I think I responded in like 22 seconds. And he sent me a link that was like I don't know, like a custom invoice or something like that. I just had to fill out like my address and that was it. It was a couple of days because they were like already built and ready and everything. But so cool, you know, I was stoked. And I took them and my guitar to a shop in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, which is kind of close to where we live. And it started with gold hardware, and it was all worn down, and the pickup covers of the Lambertones were like beautiful, like chrome, shiny. It was gonna look a little weird. So they actually like unsoldered or did something and swapped the pickup covers. So these are the original pickup covers of this guitar. So it still matches and everything looks cool, or everything looks old still. I don't know if it looks cool or not, but anyway, the important part, here's some tones. Real quick, I will play, because if you are not in the church world and you want to hear how these sound, you're going to be really annoyed if all I do is like delay and reverby stuff. So I'm going to turn off the delay for the first time ever. And I'm going to make the reverb a little more normal, if you will. And that sounds like this. And just so you know what you're hearing, so I am playing into a quad Cortex. I am using captures from the Tone Shepherd. If you love these and you want to go get them, they're great. This is of a AC30 in one end and a ProSonic in the other. It's not what I use every weekend, but it is the most praise and worship setup you can get. And that's the main audience that I feel like is going to be watching this. So again, here's some more dry stuff. And a little bit of gain. A little bit more gain. And one more stage, and then we'll do the fun stuff. So now I will turn the reverb back up and the delay back on. Obviously that's what we're all here for, right? That's of course not very clean, but how I would typically use that is just with some soft picking to get like a little bit of breakup. Or and then in that song, actually, I think around the chorus, I would typically go to like my next gain stage for just a little bit of stuff down here. this is how these pickups sound with kind of a maybe like level 3 gain, medium high. This is a the Kilt. So this is the thing you just heard was the Benson preamp. This is a JHS Kilt. And finally, this is kind of the solo setting, how that sounds. If you want to hear just how some big chords sound, I gotta look up the chords to this song because I'm so used to looking at them on the back screen in our church. I'm so bad at this instrument, dude. What's some other like stereotypical guitar boy things we could play? Oh, here we go. So yeah, hopefully this has given you either an insight into what the giveaway looks like if you hopefully get one of those texts someday, or it gives you some examples or ideas of how these pickups sound. For the last time, again, these are Lambertones Cremas and an Epiphone Sheraton that is otherwise totally stock. If you own one of these, I would love to know what what you've done to it, because I love how this sounds now. I still love the feel of like my Jazzmaster. They're very different guitars, but occasionally, if I'm playing with another guitar player that's maybe playing a similar guitar to a Jazzmaster, I'll bring this. But I kind of want to really praise and worship this thing up and put like a big gold Bigsby here, and maybe swap out some of the electronics and just take it to the next level. I will say, now that I'm thinking about this, and I may move this to a different part in the video, I think Lambertones recommends that you upgrade your wiring when you get their pickups. I don't remember why. You should check out their website. But I did not upgrade my wiring. So a little bit of a disclaimer there. If you're not stoked with how this sounds, you should look up someone else's example before you just write them off. But anyway, hope this has helped you in one way or the other. Thank you, Lambertones, Tone Shepherd profiles and presets and all that. And yeah, here we go.